Okay, it's time to do an update on this elevated G-scale layout and show you our progress. So we started this in July, the first part of July, and man, it got hot in July. So we had a number of days where the heat index was well above 100, so we couldn't do a lot out here. The first video that I shot kind of shows you the beginning processes, and it has some post holes dug, and I think the garage door was in, and the yard on the inside of the shop was in. We're going to stay out here today talking about this. So this is progress from probably the second week in August or the first week in August when it cooled off. We got out here and made some good progress. We probably got 3 days of labor in just this outside part right here. So the biggest contributor there are the Tuff Blocks. That's these little plastic feet down here that are made by Tuff Blocks, and they take the place of concrete blocks. And so the layout's just kind of floating on those, and we do have concrete in the ground occasionally. And this is how they were built. These are 4x4 standing up with supports at the bottom, supports at the top. And then we just come along and string the side of this with 1x4 treated material. This was going to be originally composite material, but the cost was outrageous for composite material. And then your flexibility with composite material is not as good as you think it is. You can only bend it so far. And once you cut into this stuff, you cause problems. And if you drill holes that are not needed, you cause problems. So 1x4s treated are very forgiving, and they don't cost nearly as much if you screw them up. So we went with 1x4s, and we'll go further and talk about that later, how we cap this. Um, this thing's completely level. We shot it with a laser level. We set our level at 48 inches, and we just spun it around and shot this thing level. There's no grade change at all. You're running a smooth train from that's 48 inches. And up here in the top of the yard, over here by that tree on the right, it's about 38 inches, but that's just 100% due to the contour of my backyard sloping down. The train is 100% level running around, so you're not going to have any hills to go up, any hills to go down. So there is one exception to that, and I'll talk about that in just a second. This is the garage door going into the shop. There's a yard inside. This all this is featured in the other video, but this door is a pet door slash chicken coop door with a remote control. So we're going to use that. This is the yard. There's been a few modifications in here, not much. We'll come back to a later video, or you can go back and watch the first video on this. As we come down beside the shop, you'll see there's track already laying up here. That's just representation to figure out where we're going to go here and help us get the contour of these curves. So as we swing around here, we'll be looking towards the little garden trailer up front there. We'll end up back over there. So as we swing around here to the back of the shop, this is where we'll have crossover to get from one track to the other. We'll also have a staging track here where you can build trains on this stretch back here. It'll probably be right down the middle of the two main lines. There may be one on the outer edge. I'm not sure. We have pop-up thunderstorms here in the south, so we'll probably put an awning or lean-to off the back of the shop so you can get out of the weather with your train. As you come out of the shop right here on the right, if you come out of the little door, you're going to make your way up onto the main. There is about an inch drop. That's the only grade on the layout. It's about an inch over 20 feet. You'll connect back to the main line right here. And we'll slat the top of this with something very similar to this. This is decking board like you walk on. We just cut them in half, and we'll space them out a little closer together. Um, and this is how the track will be laid on top. As we make these curves, I want to talk about the curve process. It's not hard to do, but you need to let Mother Nature kind of take the lead on this. So we lean these up against my fence in the backyard, and then we leaned them up against the trees to start the process of the bowing because this lumber will dry out really quick on you. So you can see right here, this is kind of the Mother Nature doing her job to start the process. They bowed pretty good, but we did have to come in here with a skill saw about every 4 inches, about an eighth inch deep, and cut some notches right here just to get the bend exactly where we wanted it. So as we make this curve, we were going to have this to be an S curve when it comes here. It was going to make a hard right and then go back a hard left across the path. But if you have electric trains, especially, and metal wheels, S curves are really not great because they wear the wheels down and they're very tough on electric motors. If you have a lot of older aristocrat stuff, it can cause some problems. So we just straighten this out. So right here will be 2 drop-in bridges. Those posts are all 4 concreted in, so that means there's only 4 more on the layout concreted somewhere supporting this thing. Um, right here is about 38 inches. So if you're a shorter individual or you're a young person and you want to build trains back here and build a long train, you can stand right here and do it. We need to probably put a passing siding here so you're not on the main line. As you come down to the fence here, it's connected to the fence on the left and it's freestanding on the right on the Tuff Blocks. And I'll turn them back around here. If you notice these 2x4s in the middle have holes drilled in them, that's where the bus wires will go for the power. The inner loop and the outer loop will have their own transformer and their own bus wire coming up. We plan to run this DC because I run Blue Nami trains and another friend of mine has Blue Nami, but we'll also have a handheld throttle so you can throttle an individual track and control the track power. And we'll probably also put a train interface in here for Mike's train house. We'll have to switch from AC to DC on whichever track we do that, but that's in the plans. As we come back here, like I said, right here is the bridge. We'll have 2 lift out bridges right there. So that kind of completes what we've got done. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm not a professional YouTube guy. I'm just somebody sharing the hobby with you. This is progress we made. We're very proud of it. Leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. And thank you for watching us.